In the heart of every human being, there lies a profound and relentless struggle, a battle that has raged since the dawn of time, the battle between good and evil. This is no mere metaphor, it is the very essence of our existence, shaping our actions, our thoughts, and ultimately our destiny. The battle between good and evil is a concept that transcends time, culture, and religion. It is a struggle as old as humanity itself, woven into the very fabric of our existence. This conflict is not confined to the pages of ancient texts or the scripts of epic tales. It is a living, breathing reality that influences every decision we make, every thought we entertain, and every action we take. It is the universal struggle, a battle that defines the human condition and shapes the world in which we live. At the core of this struggle lies the understanding that good and evil are not mere abstract ideas. They are tangible forces that manifest in our lives in countless ways. Goodness is seen in acts of kindness, compassion, honesty, and justice. It is the force that uplifts, heals, and brings harmony. On the other hand, evil is the source of suffering, deceit, cruelty, and injustice. It seeks to destroy, divide, and corrupt. These forces are constantly at odds, not just in the grand events of history, but in the ordinary moments of our daily lives. The universal nature of this struggle means that no one is exempt from it. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are all participants in this cosmic conflict. It does not matter who we are, where we come from, or what we believe. The battle between good and evil touches us all. It is present in the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the way we treat others. Every action we take has the potential to tip the scales one way or the other, contributing to the spread of goodness or the perpetuation of evil. This struggle is not just external, it is also deeply internal. Within each of us there exists a tension between our better and worse natures. We are capable of incredible acts of kindness and generosity, but we are also prone to selfishness, anger, and cruelty. This internal conflict is a reflection of the larger battle between good and evil that takes place in the world around us. It is a reminder that the fight against evil begins within our own hearts and minds. One of the most challenging aspects of this struggle is the deceptive nature of evil. Evil rarely presents itself in obvious, grotesque forms. Instead, it often appears as something attractive, reasonable, or even good. It can take the form of a seemingly harmless lie, a justified act of revenge, or a convenient compromise of our principles. This subtlety makes evil all the more dangerous, because it can lead us astray without our even realizing it. We may believe we are doing the right thing, only to discover later that we have been complicit in something wrong. This deception is one of the reasons why the battle between good and evil is so difficult. It requires not only moral clarity, but also vigilance and discernment. We must constantly examine our motives, question our assumptions, and seek the truth. We must be willing to confront the uncomfortable reality that we are capable of both good and evil, and that the line between them is often blurred. In this struggle, free will plays a crucial role. The ability to choose between good and evil is a defining characteristic of our humanity. It is a gift, but also a responsibility. Our choices matter, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. When we choose good, we contribute to the flourishing of others and the betterment of society. When we choose evil, we cause harm and contribute to the spread of suffering and injustice. Each choice we make is a small but significant part of the larger battle between good and evil. However, the universal struggle is not without hope. While evil is a powerful force, it is not invincible. The power of good, though it may sometimes seem fragile or distant, is ultimately stronger. History is full of examples of goodness triumphing over evil, of light overcoming darkness. These victories remind us that while the battle between good and evil is ongoing, it is not a hopeless one. We have the capacity to choose good, to resist evil, and to make a positive impact on the world. This struggle also offers us the opportunity for growth and transformation. It challenges us to rise above our baser instincts, to strive for higher ideals, and to become better versions of ourselves. It teaches us that goodness is not a passive state, but an active pursuit, one that requires courage, effort, and sometimes sacrifice. Through this struggle, we learn the true value of virtues like honesty, integrity, and compassion, and we come to understand that these qualities are worth fighting for. The universal struggle between good and evil is a defining feature of the human experience. It is a battle that we all must face, both within ourselves and in the world around us. It calls us to make choices that reflect our deepest values and to stand for what is right, even in the face of adversity. While the outcome of this battle may seem uncertain, the power of good gives us hope. It is through our choices, our actions, and our willingness to fight for what is right that we contribute to the victory of good over evil, a victory that has the power to transform both our lives and the world. Moral choices are the building blocks of our character, shaping who we are and determining the direction of our lives. They are the moments when we are faced with a decision between right and wrong, good and bad, selflessness and selfishness. These choices, though often made in the quiet moments of our lives, have a profound impact on our personal development, our relationships, and the world around us. Every day we are presented with opportunities to make moral choices. Some are small, seemingly insignificant decisions, like whether to tell the truth in a minor situation or to extend a small act of kindness to a stranger. Others are more significant, involving decisions that can alter the course of our lives or the lives of others. But regardless of their scale, each of these choices contributes to the person we are becoming. They reflect our values, our priorities, and our understanding of what it means to live a good life. One of the most important aspects of moral choices is that they are deeply personal. While laws, societal norms, and cultural expectations can guide our decisions, the ultimate responsibility for our choices rests with us. We are the ones who must weigh the options, consider the consequences, and make a decision that aligns with our inner sense of right and wrong. This responsibility is both a privilege and a burden, as it places the power of moral agency in our hands. The choices we make reveal our true selves. They expose what we truly believe in, what we hold dear, and what we are willing to sacrifice for. For example, a person who consistently chooses to act with honesty, even when it is difficult or inconvenient, demonstrates a commitment and integrity. Similarly, someone who chooses to help others, even at a personal cost, shows a deep sense of compassion and empathy. On the other hand, when we choose to act in ways that are dishonest, harmful, or selfish, we reveal a different set of values, one that prioritizes personal gain over the well-being of others. Moral choices also play a crucial role in shaping our character over time. Each decision we make reinforces a pattern of behavior, making it easier to choose the same path in the future. This is why habits, both good and bad, are so powerful. When we consistently choose to act in a certain way, we develop a habit of virtue or vice. For example, if we regularly choose to be patient and understanding with others, we become more naturally inclined to respond with patience in difficult situations. Conversely, if we habitually choose to respond with anger or impatience, that reaction becomes our default behavior. This process of character formation through moral choices is cumulative. Over time, the choices we make create a trajectory for our lives. If we consistently choose to act with integrity, kindness, and compassion, we build a character that is resilient, trustworthy, and honorable. But if we repeatedly choose dishonesty, cruelty, or selfishness, we may find ourselves becoming someone we never intended to be. Our moral choices, therefore, are not just isolated events, they are part of a larger narrative that defines who we are and who we are becoming. The impact of moral choices extends beyond our personal development. They also affect our relationships in the broader community. Our choices influence how others see us and how they relate to us. A person who consistently makes moral choices earns the trust and respect of others, which in turn strengthens their relationships and contributes to a sense of community. Conversely, when we make choices that are harmful or unjust, we damage our relationships and erode the trust others have in us. In this way, our moral choices have a ripple effect, influencing not just our own lives, but the lives of those around us. Moral choices also have the power to inspire or discourage others. When we witness someone making a difficult but morally sound choice, it can serve as a powerful example, encouraging us to act with similar integrity in our own lives. Conversely, when we see others making choices that are morally questionable or outright wrong, it can tempt us to lower our own standards or rationalize our behavior. This is why leadership and role models are so important. They set a standard for moral behavior that others are likely to follow. In moments of moral decision-making, we are confronted with the question of what kind of person we want to be. Do we want to be known for our honesty, our kindness, our courage, or are we willing to sacrifice those virtues for short-term gain, convenience, or approval? These are not easy questions, and the answers aren't always clear. But the process of grappling with these questions, of carefully considering our choices and their consequences, is what makes us moral beings. Moral choices define us because they reflect the essence of who we are. They are the moments when our inner values are put to the test, when we must choose between competing desires, and when we reveal our true character. These choices shape our lives, influence the world around us, and determine the legacy we leave behind. While the outcomes of our decisions may not always be within our control, the choices themselves are. And it is through these choices that we carve out our path in life, becoming the person we are meant to be. The deception of evil is one of the most insidious and dangerous aspects of the human experience. Evil does not often appear as something openly malicious or repulsive. Instead, it frequently disguises itself in ways that are subtle, appealing, and even virtuous. This ability to mask its true nature allows evil to infiltrate our lives, our decisions, and our hearts, often without our conscious awareness. The subtlety of evil's deception makes it a powerful force, capable of leading us astray even when we believe we are doing what is right. At the heart of this deception is the fact that evil often presents itself as good. It can take on the appearance of something desirable, something that promises happiness, success, or fulfillment. For instance, greed can masquerade as ambition, convincing us that the relentless pursuit of wealth and power is a noble endeavor. In reality, it can lead to a life dominated by selfishness and disregard for the well-being of others. Similarly, pride can disguise itself as self-respect, leading us to believe that our inflated sense of self-worth is justified, even as it distances us from humility and empathy. Evil's deception is also evident in the way it rationalizes harmful actions. It often whispers the comforting lie that the ends justify the means, persuading us that morally questionable actions are acceptable if they lead to a desirable outcome. This rationalization can manifest in many forms: dishonesty justified by the need to protect someone's feelings, cruelty excused as a necessary response to provocation, or corruption overlooked in the pursuit of a greater good. In each case, the deception of evil convinces us to compromise our values, often without fully realizing the moral cost of our actions. Another aspect of this deception is how evil exploits our weaknesses and vulnerabilities. It preys on our fears, insecurities, and desires, offering what seems to be an easy solution or a quick fix to our problems. For example, in moments of loneliness or despair, we might be tempted to engage in behaviors that offer temporary relief, but ultimately lead to deeper harm, such as addiction or unhealthy relationships. Evil knows how to strike at the points where we are most fragile, making choices that seem harmless at first, but eventually entangle us in a web of negative consequences. The deception of evil also thrives in ambiguity and moral relativism. In a world where the lines between right and wrong are often blurred, evil finds fertile ground to grow. It takes advantage of situations where moral clarity is lacking, where the definitions of good and bad are subject to interpretation or manipulation. In such environments, evil can easily present itself as an acceptable or even preferable alternative, leading individuals and societies down paths of ethical compromise and moral decay. Moreover, evil's deception is not always about leading us to commit overtly wrong acts. Sometimes it is about convincing us to do nothing at all. Evil often works through apathy, encouraging us to turn a blind eye to injustice, to remain silent in the face of wrongdoing, or to neglect our responsibilities to others. This form of deception is particularly dangerous because it allows evil to flourish not through direct action, but through inaction. By doing nothing, we unwittingly allow evil to spread, unchecked and unchallenged. One of the most challenging aspects of combating the deception of evil is recognizing it for what it truly is. Because evil often wears a mask of goodness, it can be difficult to see through its disguise. It requires a keen sense of moral discernment, the ability to critically evaluate our choices and the consequences of our actions. This discernment is not something that comes naturally. It must be cultivated through reflection, experience, and a commitment to living according to ethical principles. To resist the deception of evil, we must also be willing to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. We must acknowledge that we are all susceptible to being deceived, that we all have weaknesses that can be exploited, and that we are all capable of making morally compromised decisions. This self-awareness is crucial in the fight against evil, as it allows us to recognize when we are being led astray and to take corrective action before it is too late. Another essential aspect of resisting evil's deception is the cultivation of virtues that counteract its influence. Integrity, humility, and empathy are powerful antidotes to the allure of evil. When we prioritize these virtues in our lives, we become less vulnerable to the temptations that evil presents. Integrity keeps us grounded in our moral principles. Humility helps us remain aware of our limitations and flaws, and empathy connects us to the experiences and needs of others, making it more difficult for us to justify actions that cause harm. The deception of evil is a reminder of the complexity of the moral landscape we navigate. It challenges us to remain vigilant, to question our motivations, and to strive for moral clarity in a world where appearances can be deceiving. While the threat of being misled by evil is ever present, so too is the potential for recognizing and overcoming it. Through self-awareness, moral discernment, and a commitment to virtuous living, we can resist the deceptive allure of evil and choose the path of goodness, even when it is difficult or unclear. The power of redemption is one of the most profound forces in the human experience. It is the ability to transform, to rise above past mistakes, and to reclaim a sense of purpose and goodness. Redemption is not just a concept confined to religious doctrine. It is a universal truth that speaks to the resilience of the human spirit and the possibility of renewal and change. At its core, redemption is about finding a way back to the light after having wandered into darkness, and it is this journey that defines much of what it means to be human. Redemption begins with the recognition of our flaws and failures. We all make mistakes, sometimes small, sometimes significant. These mistakes can lead us down paths we never intended to take, causing harm to ourselves and others. The weight of our wrongdoings can feel overwhelming, creating a sense of guilt, shame, and despair. It is in these moments of reckoning that the power of redemption becomes most apparent. For redemption to occur, there must first be an acknowledgement of our errors, a willingness to confront the consequences of our actions, and an openness to change. This recognition is often accompanied by a deep sense of remorse. True remorse goes beyond mere regret. It is a profound sorrow for the harm we have caused and a sincere desire to make amends. This emotional response is a critical component of the redemptive process, as it drives us to seek out ways to repair the damage we have done. Without remorse, redemption is impossible, as there can be no genuine desire to change or grow without first acknowledging the need for it. The path to redemption is rarely easy. It requires courage, humility, and perseverance. Redemption often demands that we face difficult truths about ourselves and our actions, that we take responsibility for our mistakes, and that we work to make things right, even when the task seems insurmountable. This process can be painful, as it involves confronting our darkest impulses and the consequences they have wrought. But it is through this struggle that redemption gains its true power. It is in the very act of striving to overcome our flaws that we find the strength to become better versions of ourselves. Redemption is not just about personal transformation. It is also about restoring relationships and healing the wounds we have inflicted on others. When we seek redemption, we are not only seeking to better ourselves, but also to mend the bonds that have been broken by our actions. This requires us to reach out to those we have wronged, to offer sincere apologies, and to demonstrate through our actions that we are committed to change. It is not enough to simply say we are sorry. True redemption involves a tangible effort to make amends and to rebuild trust. One of the most remarkable aspects of redemption is its ability to restore hope. Even in the darkest of circumstances, the possibility of redemption offers a glimmer of light. It reminds us that no matter how far we have fallen, there is always a way back, always a chance to begin again. This hope is a powerful motivator, encouraging us to keep striving even when the journey seems impossible. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, our capacity to endure, and our ability to grow through adversity. Redemption also serves as a powerful reminder of our shared humanity. We are all imperfect beings, prone to making mistakes and capable of causing harm. But we are also capable of recognizing our faults, seeking forgiveness, and working towards a better future. In this way, redemption is not just a personal journey, it is a collective one. When we see others seeking redemption, it can inspire us to reflect on our own lives, to consider ways in which we too might seek to grow and improve. The power of redemption lies in its transformative nature. It is not just about erasing past mistakes, but about using those mistakes as a catalyst for growth. Through redemption, our failures become opportunities for learning, and our regrets become the foundation for a renewed commitment to living a more just and compassionate life. This transformation is not always immediate. It is often a gradual process, one that requires patience, persistence, and a deep commitment to change. Ultimately, redemption is about reclaiming our inherent worth and dignity. It is a process that allows us to reconnect with the values and principles that define who we are and who we aspire to be. It is a journey that reminds us that we are not defined by our worst moments, but by our capacity to learn from them and to strive towards a better future. The power of redemption lies in its ability to turn our darkest moments into a source of strength, wisdom, and renewed purpose. Redemption is a testament to the enduring potential for good within each of us. It is a force that allows us to rise above our past, to heal the wounds we have inflicted, and to move forward with a renewed sense of hope and purpose. It is a reminder that no matter how lost we may feel, the path to redemption is always within reach, offering us the chance to become the people we were meant to be. Free will is a central concept in the human experience, representing our ability to make choices that are not predetermined by external forces or internal compulsions. It is the foundation of our moral and ethical responsibility, allowing us to shape our lives and determine the course of our actions. The role of free will is crucial in understanding the nature of human existence, as it highlights the importance of autonomy, responsibility, and the capacity for growth and change. At its core, free will is about the power to choose. It is the ability to make decisions based on our own reasoning, desires, and values, rather than being driven solely by instinct, fate, or external pressures. This power to choose is what gives us control over our lives, enabling us to pursue our goals, fulfill our obligations, and respond to the challenges we face. Without free will, our actions will be mere responses to stimuli, devoid of meaning or significance. It is free will that imbues our choices with purpose, allowing us to craft a life that reflects our true selves. One of the most profound aspects of free will is its role in moral decision-making. Free will allows us to discern between right and wrong, to weigh the consequences of our actions, and to choose the path that aligns with our ethical principles. This capacity for moral judgment is what makes us accountable for our actions. When we exercise free will, we are not just acting out of compulsion or instinct, we are making conscious decisions that reflect our understanding of what is good, just, and honorable. This responsibility is both a privilege and a burden, as it means that we must live with the consequences of our choices, whether they lead to success or failure, praise or blame. Free will also plays a critical role in personal growth and self-improvement. It is through the exercise of free will that we are able to change, to learn from our mistakes, and to become better versions of ourselves. When we recognize that we have the power to choose our actions, we also recognize that we have the power to change our circumstances and our character. This awareness is a powerful motivator, encouraging us to strive for excellence, to overcome our limitations, and to pursue our highest potential. Free will, in this sense, is the engine of personal development, driving us towards growth and fulfillment. The concept of free will is closely tied to the idea of autonomy. Autonomy is the ability to govern oneself, to make decisions independently, and to act according to one's own values and beliefs. Free will is what enables us to exercise this autonomy, allowing us to assert our individuality and to live authentically. In a world where we are constantly influenced by societal norms, expectations, and pressures, free will is what allows us to break free from conformity and to chart our own course. It is through the exercise of free will that we assert our independence and affirm our identity as unique individuals. However, the role of free will is not without its challenges. The freedom to choose also means the freedom to make mistakes, to choose wrongly, or to cause harm. This aspect of free will is what makes it a double-edged sword. While it gives us the power to do good, it also gives us the power to do evil. The existence of free will means that we are not immune to error, and that the potential for wrongdoing is always present. This is why the exercise of free will requires wisdom, discernment, and a deep understanding of the consequences of our actions. Free will also raises important questions about the nature of responsibility and accountability. If we are truly free to choose our actions, then we must also be willing to accept the responsibility for those actions. This means acknowledging our mistakes, making amends where necessary, and learning from our experiences. It also means recognizing that our choices do not exist in a vacuum. They have an impact on others and on the world around us. The exercise of free will, therefore, requires a sense of moral responsibility, an awareness of the interconnectedness of our actions, and a commitment to acting in ways that promote the greater good. In addition to its role in individual lives, free will is also a fundamental component of social and political systems. Democracies, for example, are built on the principle of free will, where citizens are granted the freedom to choose their leaders, to express their opinions, and to participate in the governance of their society. Free will is what underpins the concept of human rights, as it recognizes the inherent dignity and autonomy of each individual. In this sense, free will is not just a personal matter, it is a cornerstone of a just and equitable society. The role of free will in human life is profound and far-reaching. It is what allows us to take ownership of our actions, to pursue our dreams, and to shape our dreams. It is the source of our moral agency, and is the source of our moral agency, enabling us to make ethical decisions and to live with integrity. Free will is what gives our lives meaning, as it allows us to create a narrative that reflects our values, aspirations, and choices. While it is a complex and often challenging concept, free will is essential to the human experience, reminding us of our capacity for change, growth, and self-determination. Victory through sacrifice is a concept that has echoed throughout history, illustrating the profound truth that true triumph often comes at a significant cost. This idea suggests that in order to achieve great things, one must be willing to endure hardship, make difficult choices, and sometimes give up what is most precious. The essence of sacrifice is not merely in the loss, but in the understanding that such a loss can lead to a greater good. The concept is woven into the fabric of human experience, from personal struggles to grand historical events, and it highlights the enduring power of commitment, perseverance, and the willingness to pay the price for a higher purpose. At its core, sacrifice involves giving up something valuable, whether it be time, comfort, resources, or even life itself, for the sake of something deemed more important. This act of surrendering is often painful and challenging, as it requires individuals to put aside their immediate desires and needs in favor of a long-term goal or a greater cause. The willingness to sacrifice is a testament to the depth of one's conviction and the strength of one's character. It is a demonstration of the belief that some things are worth more than personal gain or comfort, and that true victory is often achieved not by holding on, but by letting go. One of the most powerful aspects of sacrifice is its transformative nature. Through sacrifice, individuals and communities can transcend their limitations and achieve something greater than themselves. This transformation is not just about external success, but also about internal growth. The process of sacrifice often involves a journey of self-discovery, where individuals are tested, their values are clarified, and their priorities are redefined. In this way, sacrifice becomes a path to personal and collective evolution, leading to a deeper understanding of what truly matters. Sacrifice also plays a crucial role in the development of resilience and perseverance. The path to victory is rarely smooth or easy. It is often marked by obstacles, setbacks, and challenges. Sacrifice teaches us that enduring these difficulties is a necessary part of the journey. It instills in us the determination to keep going, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Through sacrifice, we learn the value of patience, the importance of persistence, and the strength that comes from enduring hardship. It is through this process that we build the resilience needed to overcome adversity and achieve our goals. The concept of victory through sacrifice is vividly illustrated in many of the world's great stories and historical events. From the sacrifices made by soldiers on the battlefield to the personal sacrifices of leaders who have fought for justice and equality, history is filled with examples of individuals who have given up much in pursuit of a higher purpose. These stories remind us that the most significant achievements often come at a high cost, and that the willingness to sacrifice is a mark of true greatness. It is this willingness that has driven some of the most important social, political, and cultural transformations in history. In our personal lives, the idea of victory through sacrifice can manifest in many ways. It might involve sacrificing leisure time to work towards a dream, giving up personal comfort to help someone in need, or making difficult decisions that prioritize long-term well-being over short-term pleasure. These sacrifices, though often challenging, are what allow us to grow, to reach our full potential, and to make a meaningful impact on the world around us. They remind us that true success is not just about what we gain, but also about what we are willing to give up in pursuit of our goals. Furthermore, sacrifice often leads to a deeper sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. While the act of giving up something valuable can be painful, the rewards of sacrifice are often profound. There is a unique joy in knowing that one's efforts have contributed to something greater than oneself, that one's sacrifices have helped to achieve a meaningful and lasting victory. This sense of fulfillment is not just about external success, but also about internal peace, knowing that one has lived in accordance with one's values and has made a positive difference in the world. Sacrifice is also a powerful expression of love and commitment. Whether in personal relationships, community service, or the pursuit of a noble cause, sacrifice is often motivated by a deep sense of duty, love, and care. It is the willingness to put others before oneself, to prioritize the well-being of others over personal gain, and to act in ways that reflect compassion and empathy. This aspect of sacrifice underscores its ethical and moral significance, reminding us that true victory is not just about personal achievement, but about contributing to the greater good. Victory through sacrifice is a concept that challenges us to rethink our understanding of success. It invites us to consider the true cost of our achievements and to recognize that the most meaningful victories often come through struggle and loss. It teaches us that greatness is not measured by what we accumulate, but by what we are willing to give up for a cause greater than ourselves. Through sacrifice, we find the strength to overcome adversity, the courage to pursue our highest ideals, and the wisdom to recognize that true victory is achieved not by avoiding sacrifice, but by embracing it as a necessary and noble part of the human experience. The journey through the battle between good and evil reveals the profound truth that our choices, driven by free will, define our character and our destiny. It is through the willingness to sacrifice that we unlock the true power of redemption and achieve victory. This victory is not just about personal triumph, but about contributing to a greater good, a purpose larger than ourselves. The struggles we endure, the sacrifices we make, and the moral decisions we confront shape our path and lead us to a deeper understanding of what truly matters. In the end, it is not the absence of conflict that defines us, but our response to it, how we rise above our flaws, embrace our capacity for growth, and strive towards a life of meaning, integrity, and purpose. Through sacrifice, we find the strength to achieve true victory,